Hello, today I'm going to cover some of the exciting advancements that Leostream has made with our integration for various HTML5 viewers. We often hear people say they would like to have clientless access to their desktop, so they don't have to actually install the display protocol software client onto end users' laptops or whatever device they happen to be using for their client. That's a clientless access. That's all the HTML5 viewers that we've added support for. So what do we support? Just really quickly, I'm going to show you everything in action, but I want to give you kind of the overview first. When you look at the Leostream platform, it includes our Leostream gateway. Our gateway includes built-in HTML5 clients that support RDP, VNC, and SSH. If you've heard of the Apache Guacamole project, that is essentially what our Leostream gateway builds into its system. That is great. It's a great use for on-prem or remote users wherever they happen to be. It gives you the clientless access in browsers that way. Now, if you have users who need to run maybe more graphics intense workloads, the HTML5 client in the Leostream gateway is probably not going to cut it for you. So what we did is we add support for third-party display protocols, and that's the three you see here. NoMachine can be launched in browser, as can NICE DCV, which is a great option, particularly if you're running in AWS, as NICE DCV licenses come with the EC2 licenses that you'll run. And then an exciting protocol that we're adding support for in the upcoming release is Scyld. Scyld is part of the cloud workstation solution that's provided by Penguin Computing. Now, how you use these protocols and how you architect a Leostream solution to support them depends on the protocol to a certain extent. If you have a VPN installed or your users are all on-prem or have network access to their machines, you can still do client-based access and you can do it without our Leostream gateway. In that case, your options are the NoMachine, the DCV, and the Scyld protocols that I mentioned. When that in this type of solution, the user login, this is all on 443 to the connection broker. And then once the user selects which desktop they want to connect to, their web browser then is then pointing to the server, the display protocol server that's running on the remote machine on the port that that server uses. So for NoMachine, it's 8443. For Scyld, it's 443. Oops, I think I got this backwards. For DCV, it's 8443. For Scyld, it's 443. And for NoMachine, it's the 4443 protocol, or port, I should say. Now, what if you have users who actually are all remote? Well, in that case, you can put the Leostream gateway in, and the Leostream gateway can tunnel the HTML5 traffic for NoMachine, DCV, and Scyld. And the way that's done in our gateway is using the same firewall forwarding that we use for client-based protocols. So in that case, what the gateway does is it opens up a port in its own firewall. And in my demo, you'll see that it's a random port that we're using. Opens up a port on the firewall, so the browser points at the gateway on that random port, and then the gateway forwards the traffic through to the remote desktop on the display protocols port. So that's for these three, NoMachine, DCV, and Scyld protocols. Now, if you're using the built-in Leostream gateway HTML5, it's a little bit different. In that case, all the traffic from the web browser where the client sits is along 443, goes through the gateway, and then comes out on the display protocol port. So RDP, SSH, or VNC, depending on if it's the first VNC server session or a subsequent session. Now, the gateway, again, these users can be on-prem or off-prem in this case when you're talking about the HTML5 client in the gateway. Works for both scenarios for that clientless access. So if we want to see this in action, let me show you the broker. So here I'm looking at the administrator view of the Leostream connection broker, and I shouldn't let you know that I am using a pre-release of the upcoming version that should be out early next year. So the key here is really in the protocol plans. First, if I look at pools, you'll see I set up pools based on the different protocols that the remote desktop supports. So I have one for DCV, simple one to connect to via HTML RDP, and then a NoMachine and a Scyld workstation as well. In the protocol plans, then, here's where you can create the plans that indicate how do you want to connect to the user and does it need to go through the gateway or not. Just as an example, if I look at the NoMachine, here I've set the priority of the NoMachine HTML5 viewer to 1, and I'm on-prem in this particular protocol plan, so there's no gateway selected. Once I look at an off-prem user, I want to take that connection and tunnel it through the Leostream gateway. So again, my HTML5 viewer for NoMachine is set to 1, but I've selected a gateway for that to go through. And then I've created some policies here that assign those protocol plans to the pool based on what the remote server supports. So if I look here, I have a NoMachine pool that I'm going to connect to via our Leostream gateway using NoMachine. And then the same policy offers one machine to connect via the Leostream gateway to an HTML5 RDP desktop. Just to kind of close the loop, in case you're new to Leostream, those policies are then applied via our authentication server. So I have 2 domains, a Leostream and a dev. So if I look at my Leostream domain, it is going to offer users, in this case, the HTML5 via gateway policy, or my student users, just a HTML5 policy. So to see what this looks like from an end user perspective, here I'm going to log in as my own user, my end user, and what I'm going to see is different from the admin view. Here I see my offered resources. And in my case, my policy is configured so that these connections will open in a new tab. So the first thing I can do is show you the connection to the HTML5 RDP session running on this Windows machine here. So that's going to launch and it's going to log me in. While that's logging in, I can actually come here too and also connect to my NoMachine session over here, which is going to open up in this other tab. And here you notice here is the remote port that I'm connecting over to. And then I can log in here. We don't yet have the single sign-on for the NoMachine protocol. So that's connecting there. While that's connecting, so what does this look like for other protocols? My Milo user in the dev domain, they're actually offered the Scyld Cloud Workstation desktop. So here, if I connect, again, in this case, it's going to go through the Leostream gateway and connect to the Scyld Workstation server in the browser. While that's connecting, I'm going to switch over to Firefox here. This is a user has access to NICE DCV, and it does have some browser requirements to it. So I'm going to use Firefox to log in here and ultimately connect to my DCV server that's running here. And again, in this case, we don't yet have the single sign-on enabled, but I can log in. Always wants to save my passwords. And so there's the DCV session. Now, while all these logins are occurring here, I can come here and see what's going on in the logs. So you always know who's connecting to what. It'll tell you how they've been connected, which ports were being used for forwarding. And it's a nice way for you to keep track of who's using what, how are they accessing those resources, and how long were they using them. And that is the general overview. If you want to give any of these protocols a try, the NoMachine and the Scyld Cloud Workstation support is in our upcoming release. The NICE DCV support for the HTML5 client is in the shipping release. You can try any of them. You can just give us a call or drop us an email at sales@leostream.com. Thank you.